Last week was one of those weeks in my classroom where all of my students were sick. We were sick. I'm pretty sure I'm still sick. And it was just a madhouse. Everything was loud, messy. By the end of the week, was just absolutely exhausted. And partway through the week, I just had this massive feeling of burnout where it didn't matter how much I love my students and how much joy they bring me and how happy I am to be with them. I am a 43-year-old single mom. I am very, I would say, highly sensitive. So I get overstimulated by noise and chaos and messes. And it was just one of those weeks where I was just like, I am so tired and overstimulated and I can't handle it. And I started thinking about next year and teaching again. And I was like, I think next year will be good because I will have time over the summer to figure out what worked this year in my classroom and rearrange everything so that I have a better schedule, better plan for how I want to do curriculum. I'm starting a new curriculum next year. But the thought of the year after, going through next year and then doing this all over again, I just cannot even fathom. So I have been thinking about going back to get my certification to be an educational diagnostician. And this week I decided to do it. And I started researching schools and programs because I knew that I wanted to do something that was online and accelerated. And that's what I did all week. And I looked at schools. And sorry, I'm really foggy and trying to get through this because I just don't feel good, but I wanted to give an update. So reasons why I'm leaving the classroom: burnout, exhaustion. I'm basically full-time with 3 and 4-year-olds all day. And I'm at this point in my life where I can't see myself having more kids. And it's just, I'm tired. I have a teenager at home. It's really easy. And I'm enjoying that. So I just feel like maybe I'm getting to the point where I'm getting too old for this. And lastly is the pay. As a single mom who is in a lot of debt right now, the pay is just, it finances my bills. It pays our necessities, our bills. It doesn't even always cover food. I'm just, with the debt that I'm in, it can be really hard to stretch my paycheck. So I've been thinking for a long time, I really need to make more money. And I have all these creative pursuits that I want to focus on, but if I don't have, I have our basic needs met, but above that, I'm always stressed about money. So I feel like the wisest thing for me to do right now is to really focus on making my stable income stretch longer by getting a better paying job. And then I can pursue my creative pursuits on the side without so much financial stress. I have a desire to help students in a different way. I don't necessarily think that the classroom is the best fit for me. I'm great with my kids. I love them. I'm calm and patient for the most part, but I'm the type of person that just likes different things all the time. So being in a classroom all day can be really challenging for me. And I would prefer to be bouncing around the school, helping different kids with different behaviors. So I just see myself working with children in a different way, in a different capacity. And I love my kids, but I keep feeling like I need a change. I am a fierce advocate for my students. And when I think about being in the classroom, I can advocate for them, but it doesn't make as big of an impact as if I was an educational diagnostician and I'm assessing these students and deciding what they need, what disabilities they have, what accommodations they need in the classroom. I feel like my impact for them and working with their parents would just go much deeper than in the classroom. So imagine this week, I'm just coming home from work and sitting on my couch and researching programs. And there are a ton of programs out there that are certification programs, but you need your master's. And turns out there's also dual programs that are accelerated online programs that offer you a master's in special ed with a diagnostician certification. So that's what I'm focusing my energy on. And that's what I was looking for this week. So Saturday night, I took my son and his friends roller skating. And while they were roller skating, I was sitting in the restaurant just working and looking for schools, getting all my paperwork set up so that I could send it out. And right before I got home from work today, I got on an interview with my top school. and we got my application to go through. So I just applied for grad school and I'm super excited about it. So what is an educational diagnostician? Well, it is someone who goes into the school system and works with the parents and the school to figure out the needs of a student. So say a parent comes in and their preschooler has not been identified as having special needs, but the parent suspects that they might have special needs. So they would call in a full evaluation and the school would set it up, and they would call in a diagnostician and they would come in and they would work with the family and get some background information on the student. And then they would assess the student. And they do that through different diagnostic tests, playing certain games. And then the diagnostician can assess some special needs, not all of them. If you wanted to assess all of them, you'd have to be a school psychologist. That's actually something that I am looking into down the line, but I just feel like this is the next right step for me, is just getting this certification. So they assess the students and just see what needs they are and what accommodations they need and how you can best support them in the classroom. So what are the risks and rewards of this for me? Well, the risks is that this is a new position, so I'm going to have to learn it. I really went back and forth because I'm finally at a place in my life where I'm pretty comfortable in the classroom and I can focus on my art business. And I've been trying to do that, but because of all that I need, I'm always doing all these little side jobs, and it's really hard for me to sometimes just focus on the art because it's not bringing in money yet. So that was really hard. Do I really want to do this? Do I want to learn this new skill and then go back to school and have to do that for a year and then put my art business on the side? And I am struggling with that, but I figure if I'm able to set a really good schedule for myself, there's no reason that I won't have time to do the art business. I can do that in the mornings or right when I come home from work, and then do school on the weekends or a few days a week. So the rewards of switching into a new position: I would be able to help kids in a different way. I'd be able to be an advocate. I would also almost double my salary. And as a single mom, that is huge. My son the other day said, I don't know, he was watching something on TV and he was like, "Hey mom, do you have a college fund for me?" And it just like, made me sick to my stomach. I'm like, no. And he's like, "Why not? What if when I go to college, how am I going to afford it?" And I was like, well, I've never really had the extra money to do that. We just get by. And that hasn't really been the biggest priority. Putting food on the table has been, and just spending money to buy you clothes and stuff. So just him saying that has really put the seed in my head. That is something that I really need to get on top of. And that's kind of where I'm at with that. But anyways, so now that I'm telling my son that I'm starting to apply to grad school, and he's been very excited about this journey. Every day he's like, "Did you get in?" I think he's just excited for me to advance my career, and he knows that it's going to come with a salary increase, which will be really good. And I think he knows that it's going to make me happier and just in a better place. So what comes next? So this is a program that I need to get accepted into, and I have to file a bunch of paperwork besides what I just filed today. And I need to get them my certification and my service hours for teaching, and what else? My grades from my bachelor at UMass. So I'm going to get those things in, and then they'll decide if they accept me. And then I believe that classes start May 19th if I'm accepted. I already filed my FAFSA for student loans, and I'll be in school, and it's supposed to take a year, and I'll be someone who can help students differently and advocate for them. One thing that I actually am super inspired to do, and I think this would be to do private assessments for families who are homeschooling, and then be able to advocate for their students, like in the school system, or them, or even advocate in the family court system if they're at risk of not being able to homeschool anymore. I think that'd be really awesome. So what I'm doing, I promise to give you updates as they come, and I promise to continue on the journey to my creative journey to personal and financial freedom. And this is like step in financial freedom is just, and you definitely want to talk about my budget and what that's going to look like, because you make more, everything becomes more expensive. You don't want to make more and then get a better house and get a better car and do all those things. No, I want to stick with what I have and then use that extra money to get out of debt, to have just stable income for food and like that, extracurriculars for my son, but like investing money into savings so that we're set up for the future. So yeah, thank you for being here, and I'm excited for you to come along on this journey.